Pulpit TV Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, we're saving jobs, saving our community. Now, every now and then I might save a soul, but that's okay. Let's call it icing on cake. Because every now and then we just have to do the right thing. Our mission is to build strong businesses and put people to work. We do that with business development, job creation, and service. If you ever find yourself at a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit TV show. We are on a mission. We are on a mission. As the French say, nous sommes illusion. All right, well, let's get it going here. I'm Robert Gatewood, and welcome to another Marketing Pulpit TV show. And we join you here on this platform every Friday at 10:30 a.m. And we are bringing you the good marketing gospel because we are on a mission. That's right, we're on a mission. The mission, in case you haven't gotten it over the past few episodes, is to build strong businesses in our community so we can put our people to work. And it's like we're the forgotten souls out here. Everybody's out here doing their thing, taking care of themselves. I'm not mad at them, but we have to do the same thing. We have to take care of ourselves, our children, our adults. We have to support our businesses, build these businesses so we can put people to work. Every community needs an economic foundation, irregardless of the other foundations you may have: health, spiritual, psychological, you name it. Those are great. But if you don't have that financial, that economic base, the others are going to falter. So that's why, regardless of, we have other people out here doing some great things. I applaud them. But Robert Gatewood, his mission is to help us build this economic base. And the best way, the equalizer, is to build successful businesses. That's an option that's available to everybody, regardless of your economic or your educational background, your age, your beliefs. This is a privilege that's available to all. And if you need help with it, which most of us do, then the first thing we do is tune into this show or share it with somebody else who's trying to do this. That's right. I am on a mission. Been doing this now on the air for over 10 years, and as a consultant and a business owner, strategist, business developer, almost 30 years. My company is Gatewood Marketing and Web. You can go to gatewoodmarketing.com to find out more about the company. I'm also a consultant for the Small Business Administration for companies in the 8A program. I'm an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College, where I teach marketing, social media, networking, sales. I've written a couple of books, Played in Full, and Smarter Than the Boss. So yeah, I got a little cred. I got receipts, but it's an open note if it doesn't work. So I have to get you to come to the show and start applying this knowledge. I'm giving it to you free. That's right. I have enough clients right now, so I don't need to charge you for this information. But there's some things in life that are so important, that are so necessary, that are so pivotal, that are so foundational, that not having money is not a good enough excuse. Matter of fact, the folks that need this information the most oftentimes are the ones that are least able to afford it. That's why this platform is here. That's why I'm driven by a mission more than to make another buck. I'll be fine. If I never got another dollar from anybody listening to this show, I'm fine. My company is doing quite well. I'm not saying I'm all that now. I'm just saying that when you're on a mission, money is not your motivator. It's about pursuing your goals and your purpose. My goal and purposes are to build strong businesses and put our people to work. I'm Robert Gatewood. You can go to gatewoodmarketing.com to find out more about the company. But also go to marketingpulpit.com. You can watch this show live right on the screen. We're broadcasting, simulcasting on Facebook Live, on Twitter, Periscope, and on YouTube Live. So we're making this platform available to those who need it in as many ways as possible. want to say good morning to Brother Kenny Jones. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Now, I must say, though, I have a heavy heart today. I am so tired of coming on this show with a heavy heart. That seems to be more the norm, the exception. I mean, the rule than the exception. Some celebrities dying seem like every week. Got a pandemic is still going on. But today it's more personal. One of my long-term clients, and I just found out about this yesterday. So I always find these things out right before I go on the air. But anyway, this time I had a day to prepare, to brace and steel myself. My good friend, Dr. Spencer Cooper. Dr. Cooper and I go back. He was one of my original clients. We had our offices in Oxon Hill. This was before Oxon Hill became National Harbor and all that good stuff. But we were in old school Oxon Hill, and his office was right down the hall from mine. It was three of us. It was my office, Dr. Cooper, and Dr. Frisbee. We kind of held down that floor. And I found out yesterday, much to my chagrin, that Dr. Cooper passed a couple of months ago. And I'm gonna tell you why this is bothering me. Because I talked to him about 10 days before he passed away. He called me, we talked on the phone. He would call me sometimes, 2 or 3 times a day. And he would constantly tell me, I don't know what I'd do without you, Gatewood. He'd tell me, look, man, I'm the psychologist. You're the business guy. He'd always say, look, I need you. Because many times I was trying to let Dr. Cooper go on his own. I even sent some of my employees to work over there because he had a demanding business. He was a psychologist, had 2 locations, one in Oxon Hill and one in DuPont Circle. And so I was like, you don't want to pay an expensive guy like me some of this stuff you need. So I sent one of my employees to work for him. And so we talked the last time, and he was trying to help me. I was working out some issues with him and his employees and his staff and trying to help him put some systems in place, once again, so that he wouldn't be so dependent upon me. Because, as I told you, my schedule has been brutal since this pandemic. And so one of my staff, matter of fact, the young lady who I sent to work for him, she had contacted me and said, well, I was reaching out to Dr. Cooper, and I noticed the phone wasn't being answered. And so she went on Google and found his obituary. Of course, I was devastated because it was too much. I'm still really getting over Patrick Ellis, one of my other long-term clients who has been around many years. And then Dr. Cooper. So he was a great client, brilliant individual. He lost his wife recently. He has a son, Jock, who's an attorney. He was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and he got his Bachelor of Arts degree from University of Nebraska, Omaha, through several graduate institutions to get his PhD, Ohio State, Georgetown University, Harvard University. But he was the kind of caliber of client that I always took pleasure in working with. And I just can't say enough about how he will be missed. And I'm telling you folks, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep coming on this air with these sad stories and heavy hearts every week. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's why I want to get into this next topic, is because I want you listeners, clients and non-clients alike, is to get your affairs in order and take care of yourself. I don't have the bandwidth to do this every week or every other week. It's not a celebrity, it's a client. And one day my number may be called. But my point is, we as people, as a community, and as business owners, and of course I'm not saying you have to be a business owner, but I'm just saying I have an affinity for business owners because I'm a business consultant. And I know the life of a business owner. So we're always on. We're never off. We're always trying to get to that next level. Always reaching higher. Trying to push other people and bring other people along. And that's taxing. That can be rough on a person. I know it's rough on me. And I've done some self-examination the last few weeks. I've started putting some things, getting my affairs in order. It's tough out here on a business owner. I want to say good morning to Jennifer. Good to see you as well. And good morning, attorney Bradley Thomas. Glad to see you. But I just want to say this just quickly. I want everybody out here to really now, you really don't know when your clock is going to be punched, when your time is going to be up, when your number is called. So I entreat everyone, let's get our affairs in order. Some simple things that I'd like you to start doing really today. And thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the condolences. Well, first of all, let's get a will. We have, I know several good family law attorneys, probate, state will attorneys if you need one. But, or you can just, at the very minimum, just write down some things that you want to happen in the event of your demise. Have a contingency plan. What's going to happen? And I'm talking specifically to you business owners. What's going to happen if something happens to you tomorrow? You have all these irons in the fire, all these clients you're juggling, and you have contracts, and you have people depending on you. And if you're gone tomorrow, what are these people supposed to do? And I've really had to been thinking about this lately. I mean, I got hundreds of people out here, probably thousands of people that depend on my company for their email accounts, for their websites, their marketing strategies. And thankfully, I have systems in place that if something happens to me, the show will go on, business will continue. And I had a meeting after I learned about Dr. Cooper yesterday. I called a meeting to one of my next in command and said, look, just make sure that, and I told two other people who are, in case that person, something happened to them, I have a lot of people depending on my company for basic things that is important to their survival of their business, like their email, their websites. And so there is a plan in place. I just want to put everybody at ease that things will continue. But I want you to look at your business as well. Have that backup person. It may not be someone in your business. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, somebody you trust. If something happens to me, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to call. This is where certain things are. It doesn't have to be a formal, long, drawn out something, but something as simple as that. This is who I want you to call. This is where certain things are. These are some passwords that only I know. These are some accounts that somebody may need access to. One of my client buddies, Nakia Gray, she wrote a little pamphlet that I used to jot down some of this vital information. I have to get her on the show one day. Explain it again. Certain things like your Facebook account. Facebook does have a protocol in place where you can actually have a backup person on your Facebook account in case something happens to you, and then they can make the changes. They can take down the information. They could put up new information, let people know what happened to you. So some basic things like that. And then the last thing I want to say is take care of yourself. Let's value this time, like Brother Jones said. Every day is a gift. That gift is not guaranteed. But let's not be risky. Let's not take certain things for granted. So we do have certain control over certain aspects of our lives and our well-being. Let's get some rest. And I'm telling you, I'm the poster boy for everything I'm saying. I've broken every rule, but I'm going to do better. I'm telling you, I really am. This is just keeps getting too close to me. Rest, drink water, exercise. I take the stairs every day. I do my push-ups every day. I don't drink enough water. I definitely don't get enough sleep. But I'm going to start. I want you to hold me to it. If I come in looking like I've been beat up, like I'm walked out of SeaWorld or something like that. Hell, you can text me and look, man, you need to get some more rest. Look rough up there on the stage. Look a little long in the tooth. So smoking, these bad habits, let's get rid of them. Let's pick up good habits. Drinking, it's okay to have a drink, a glass of wine, or beer every now and then, but let's not overdo it. Let's not do anything to the excess. And also, of course, this is my own personal piece of advice. Let's leave something behind. Let's not run it so close to the edge that we're living from week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Let's start building that reserve. Let's invest in that business so that business is something you can leave behind. That business sometimes may be the only thing that people have to pay off your final expenses, or to leverage, or to pass on to your children, or something to include in your will. And that's where I can step in also. I want to help you build that successful business. Something you can leave behind, something with your name on it. So yeah, here I am again. I'm a little Dr. Cooper, rest in peace. One of my favorites. Like a brother, really. We right had that building together in Oxon Hill for so many years. And I hadn't seen him since the pandemic. So we talked a lot. And I'm really kicking myself that I let so much time go between the last time I talked to him. And if I weren't so busy, I must admit, I'm guilty of this. I was enjoying the break. And that's why I really feel guilty, because I had so many other demands. I was not about to go chasing somebody who was, I'm thinking, was doing fine. I'm thinking he had staffed up, had taken the advice I'd given him. And so I'm enjoying this time I can spend on other projects and other clients, because I've been in such demand since this pandemic started. But little did I know that the last time I spoke with him, that 10 days later, he would not be with us. So anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, kind of pull myself together. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some of the items in the news. And later in the show, I'm going to talk about putting social media to work for your company. Now, I've been talking about this at my courses at Prince George's Community College, where I'm an adjunct professor. And it always strikes such a chord with the students. They really love this segment. And so I thought I'd present it to you today, and how we take these social media platforms, instead of just putting them out there nilly-willy, crossing our fingers and throwing things on the wall and hoping it sticks, or running up the pass. None of that. I'm going to give you some concrete things to do that you can do to put social media to work for your company. So I'm going to this is Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we'll be right back after the break. All right. We're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. Follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. And also, you can follow us on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. We are all things Marketing Pulpit. That's our strong brand. And thank you again for tuning in today. I see Brother Chuck Barlow. Welcome, Brother Barlow. Good to see you. The Manor Football League. Really sharp young brother. And Brother Curtis Gatewood, SKU, stop killing us. Man, you talking about somebody who's out there shaking things up and making things happen. Because we need brothers like Brother Curtis, who's he's been out here. He's been hierarchy of the NAACP. He's one of the architects of this Moral Monday movement down in North Carolina. I mean, he had that thing up into the tens of thousands of almost 100,000 people down there doing that movement. And so just glad to have him tuning in this morning. And everybody else who's tuning in. Thank you again for tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. Once again, I want to dedicate this show to my good friend, Dr. Spencer Lee Cooper, who passed away. He was a client of mine for almost 20 years. His untimely death has me a little rattled this morning. And but we must go on. And like I said, I'm just asking everybody, please take care of yourself. Tomorrow's not promised. And Jennifer said it best. Every day is a gift. No, Kenny, I'm sorry. Kenny Jones said every day is a gift. Thank you very much. Let's talk about some of the things in the news. The Teen Vogue editor is out. Teen Vogue is this popular magazine. They just hired this young lady. And before she could even start her job, I don't know if she hadn't even gotten her first paycheck yet. They have come to an agreement. I guess they say she resigned, but we know what that means in corporate. You resign, you were kind of encouraged to resign. I've had that. I've done those resignations before in my life, where the company gives you this nice little statement to put out. And Robert Gatewood has decided to resign from his position as senior vice president, and wish him and his family well. Man, y'all fired me. But anyway, Teen Vogue editor. She's now the reason she resigned though, her timing was just terrible. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to say this again. You better be careful what you put on social media. Now, I'm sure when she wrote what she wrote on social media, I think she was still in school. She was a student. But she's still very young, but it was, in student year. That's not that long ago. She was still a student. And she had written something about Asians had funny eyes. And that she had an Asian instructor that gave her a hard time. Now, under normal circumstances, most people would let that slide. But in the context, that's something we talk about on this show often. In the context of what has happened recently, of course, everybody's looking back through everybody's profile now to see if they said anything negative about Asians. But you shouldn't have. But you don't know what's going to happen down the road. That's why you have to be careful. You could be talking about somebody. You could be beating them up one way and down the other. And it seemed okay at the time. Then something happened to them, and all of a sudden, somebody's back digging in your past. And you shouldn't have said that about this person because now he's gone, and now you're looking really crappy. So there's a lot of context in this particular story. One, like I say, that social media is undoing so many people. And then this young lady who had such a bright future, and now she's been marginalized, and who knows how this is going to affect her future going forward. So that's unfortunate. And what she said was unfortunate as well. Let's just don't generalize people, don't stereotype people, don't lump people in groups and say negative things about them, because not just because it might come back to haunt you, because it's just wrong. It's wrong. Here's another story that I just found interesting. Kanye West, I've read, that is worth $6.6 billion. Man, what wrong turn did I take? I'm a smart guy with all these degrees, and why is he giving me $6 billion? What's up? Oh boy, there's something wrong with this society that the money just not going to the people that deserve it. I would give up some of my money just to pay school teachers more. I think school teachers need to get paid more money. But you got a rapper out here, Kanye West, with $6.6 billion. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I just throw that in there. But he's obviously he has something that people want. But the other thing about money too, let me tell you something about this. That's why I like this story as well. Once you get money, man, it's hard to get rid of it. When the money is coming, you can't give it away. Even if you give it away, you get a tax break from it. So the key is, folks, go ahead and make you some money, make as much as you can, and get you a business. Of course, I'm going to say that a lot because that's what I do. I'm a business developer. That old saying, when you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Well, that's my philosophy. It's like for every problem that comes in society, I'm going to say, start a business, because really, but in all sincerity, it can be a differentiator between how your lot in life goes by having a successful business. You can use it for leverage. You can use it for income. You don't have to take so much crap from people. I'm just going to tell you for a minute. That's one of my main reasons for having a business and enjoying it so much. The crap I don't have to take from people. Man, I can get on this show and talk freely, not worry about getting fired. A client might leave me every now and then, but hey, see you later. Don't let the door hit you. Because I'm speaking from truth and justice. And if that's problematic for you, I say hasta la vista, baby. So that's one of those. You're always going to hear me say that. Whenever there's an issue or a problem, I'm going to say, hey, go out and get a business. That will take care of that. That person will hit you over the head with that billy club if you had a business. Well, maybe not that, but you know what I mean. It helps. It helps when you have some leverage and some power, and then just the nice people and the resources that are available to you once you join the business community and have yourself a successful business. Here's an interesting story too. Speaking of, this story is a good segue. Goldman Sachs analysts, people that work for Goldman Sachs, these analysts, these people are complaining because their work week is about 95 hours. So I work a lot. Jesus Christ. 35 hours a week. Folks, do you know how many hours that is? Let me break it down for you. If you are working 6 days a week, that's about 16 hours a day. My goodness. And if you are, let's say you do 7 days, even at 7 days a week, that's about 14 hours a day. So these guys complaining. One analyst said he wasn't eating, he wasn't showering, doing nothing but working. Once again, that just goes back to show, if you're working for yourself, if you're doing that, I mean, you can at least you can take a break. You can go eat, shower, you can work, shower at your house. But when you're working for somebody, I don't know what kind of money that anybody can pay anybody to make me work for somebody, another person, for 95 hours a week. Now these guys get some good money. Now don't get me wrong, these guys they get a pretty penny. But once again, folks, at some point in your life, you have to decide and determine that some things are greater than money, like your peace, your rest, being able to sleep. But once again, good morning, everybody tuning in. Good morning, Brother Brown, the greatest plumber in the land. And thank you for all your comments. And if you do put a comment on the board, we will acknowledge you. So join the conversation with me. I like talking to folks. I love talking to folks. Like Jennifer said, so glad. So Jennifer, you were doing those 95 hours a week. I bet life is good now. I don't care if they give you partner, the biggest corner office. It's just not worth it. I'm thinking from examples too. Man, I worked in corporate America. Man, I'm gonna tell you, boy, I was sitting, I had it made. And these guys give you these big fat salaries. They give you perks, free tickets to this and that, bonuses. Christmas rolls around, holiday roll around, they pop, $4,000 or $5,000 in your stocking. Man, he's like, why would I give this up ever? Man, let me tell you, your freedom, your peace of mind. I don't care how many bonuses you got, how many stocking stuff you want to give me with gold watches. It's not worth my peace of mind and my freedom. I'm telling you, folks. So Jennifer, amen, sister. I feel you. She can relate. Let's see what else is going on. Now here's something from the world of the bizarre. This young lady, she was a former mayoral candidate, Olivia Ware, from the city of Conyers. She racked in about $328,000 of ill-gotten PPP money. It's that payroll protection plan money, payroll protection program, part of the stimulus package. Man, people have done some weird things with this money. Now, I know a lot of folks are getting their stimmies this week, last week, that stimulus money. But let me tell you something, people. Uncle Sam is watching. Don't think you're going to get this money illegally or nefariously or doing something wrong with it, and Uncle Sam won't come find out what you did with it. Particularly you business owners, they're getting this PPP money. And that is Uncle Sam. He's watching that really hard. As Olivia Ware found out. Now she claimed that she had 54 employees. First of all, that's too many employees unless you if you're gonna cheat. Come on, folks. Let's be realistic. That's a lot of folks. She claimed she had 54 employees and that she paid out hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the way the PP money works, you hire people and you pay them. And Uncle Sam says, as long as you don't fire them or keep them working at for a certain length of time, then you get to keep that money. You can actually be forgiven. Well, sorry, Sister Olivia. Let your incarceration, your misfortune, be a reminder to others. Let's not let it be in vain. Let's just say you threw yourself on the grenade for the rest of the people out here who are fooling with that PPP money, that stimulus money. And I'm telling you, folks, don't do it. Don't do it. Uncle Sam is watching. Oh boy. So Jennifer, yeah, her freedom is worth it. I hear you, Jennifer. Jennifer, you are so much the poster child of what I'm talking about this morning. And Jennifer is a top-notch attorney. Matter of fact, she's been on my show before. She's been on the show before when I was doing a Radio 1 studio over there, which we plan to go back to. Anyway, I'm glad you can relate to this. I'm glad that you can relate. Tell you what I'm going to do in a minute. I'm going to take another break. We're going to come back and talk about this social media. Now, but before I do, I gotta get this story out here. And these two stories, they run together. Now, you won't, at face value, or it's like I use some of Jennifer's words, prima facie, at first glance, you won't see the connection between these two stories. And good morning, Terrell. Good morning, of the Perfect Batch Food. Man, let me tell you something, Terrell. I'm going to blame you for an addiction. Terrell Walker and his wife, Adrian, they have a company called the Perfect Batch Food. Now, I've never been a hot sauce person. I mean, matter of fact, hot sauce makes me sweat. I mean, my body has a reaction. Well, anyway, Terrell is a client of mine now. He and his wife they came on board as a client last month. And so, of course, I ordered, usually with my clients, I will buy their services. That's just one of the things. That's one benefit. If you don't get any other benefit of being my client, I'm going to buy your services. Even whether I need it or not, I'm going to refer it to somebody else who can actually. Sometimes I just buy it and give it to somebody else. Now, it depends on what it is, man. If I don't need a house and you're a real estate agent, we might have to talk about something else. Maybe I'll buy your book or something like that. But anyway, so I bought this hot sauce. And Walter, this is no exaggeration. I'm not just saying this to butter you up. I've been in that hot sauce practically every night. Last night, I put it on my green beans. I put it on my what am I? I had some hamburger patties that I put over rice. Had me some green beans on the side. I was using the brown rice, trying to be healthy. And man, here I come with my hot sauce. I put a little bit on the beans and a little bit on that burger. Man, I'm sitting there sweating like a hog, like a guilty person on the witness stand. But like Walter said on the show last week, a couple of weeks ago, is that your body adjusts to it. So anyway, Walter, I'm picking on you this morning. Yeah, you got me addicted to this hot sauce. I don't know what's in that stuff, man, but it is so good. And I'm not a hot sauce person. Anyway, go to the Perfect Batch Foods, and grab you a bottle of this hot sauce. And they also have a twang sauce. You can get the combination. And man, let me tell you, that's one client. I'm glad I'm enjoying this relationship more so than probably Walter and his wife, because I discovered a very tasty hot sauce. But I digress. Let me get back to the point here. Just glad to see Walter this morning. These two stories, matter of fact, I'm going to save them to after the break. I'm going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're dedicating this show to my good friend that I lost, Dr. Spencer Cooper of the Stress Management Center. Man, do we need him now more than ever. He passed away this year, and he's been a client of mine for almost 20 years. And we shared office in the office. We were on the same floor when my office was in Austin Hill. We were on the same floor, and he continued. He just been a client and followed me, and we worked together nonstop. And I was proud to call him a business associate, client, and friend. And we're dedicating this show to him. That's a super. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, finish up the news, and talk about how to put social media to work for you. Now, some of you folks out here, like you said, you're doing social media, but I know, I don't have to guess this. You don't know how social media works. Read something somewhere. Somebody told you, hey, go ahead and get a Facebook page. You don't know a Facebook profile from a business page. Well, I'm going to tell you not the specifics of how to make Facebook work, how to set up a page. I'm going to tell you how to make these tools work, like the employees. So that's the Marketing Pulpit sermon coming up in a moment. This is the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. I bring you the good market gospel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Rayford Lee Brown Sr. I am the owner and founder of B&B Cleaning Services, LLC. We are a janitorial, floor cleaning, and property maintenance business.
All right, let me welcome you back to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. I bring you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls. We are saving businesses. Now, people say, look, Robert, why do you say you're not saving souls? Well, because the name can sometimes mislead people to thinking that we are a religious or gospel show and not a marketing show, or that we market churches. Well, so I just try to clear it up. And it's kind of cute, but we're not in the soul saving business. Now, every now and then, now people tell me this all the time, that, man, you sure you're not a preacher? Well, my dad was a preacher in the pulpit in the same church about 51 years, down in New Hope in Hamlet, North Carolina, Reverend Dr. W.H. Gatewood. My brother Curtis, he's a minister as well. So I guess it's in the blood, but I chose a different ministry, and that is to save businesses and build businesses. And that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. Came out of college as my first job was a buyer for a national food chain, Grand Union Supermarkets up in Washington, D.C. Did that for about 8 years. I was one of the youngest buyers in the country at the time. I started at 22 years old. And I meandered my way through working for several corporations, large and small. I've been president, I've been CFO, I've been CEO, but like Jennifer said, man, there's nothing like having your own. My gosh. I probably work 95 hours like some of those analysts do, but man, it doesn't feel like work when it's yours. Man, you can be working in the bed, you can be laying down, you can be working on the golf course, you can be working, you choose where you work and how much. It's just something different when it's yours. So amen there, Jennifer. You nailed it on the head. Let's talk about this last news story because it's two stories I want to put together. I'll give it some context. Now, Google has added jobs. They've added 10,000 new full-time jobs as part of a $7 billion investment into offices and data centers. Now, remember back in when the pandemic was roaring at its peak, everybody was talking about the real estate office, the office business, real estate was going to go down the tube, and nobody's going to be using offices again, and we're going to all be working from home forever. Well, Google is saying, slow your roll, not so fast. That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I give you the news. Because the news is like tea leaves. It's like it gives you a glimpse into the future. When people like Google start making those kind of moves, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a Robert Gatewoodism, that the offices are not gone yet. Yes, people are going to be working from home. They're going to be using Zoom and this, that, and the other. But Google is saying, no, wait a minute. We're finding out that working from home is doing something to employee morale, is group cohesion that might be offsetting or uh, uh, lowering the benefit you get from the economic advantages. So, one story. The other story I want to talk about is the jobless claims are up again. And once again, people say, hey, the pandemic is over. Why is jobless claims going up? Well, I'm going to take these two stories together and paint a picture. First of all, a rebound is coming. I remember there was a guy when I went to Livingstone, this quote that this guy made, Dr. Charles Price. He said, I don't care how dark the night, I believe in the coming of the morning. And many people have made a similar quote about the darkest hour comes before day. Well, I'm here today, ladies and gentlemen, to let you know a brighter day is coming. If you just hang on, you business owners, I know many of you have said, man, when, Lord, when? I know I've said it several times. Mine was for a different reason, but you may feel like, when is the morning coming? When is a day going to be brighter? If you understand the cyclical nature of business and this concept that many have chimed and opined on about, you're going to see some challenges or some dark times before the bright days come ahead. These are things that us old school business owners have learned the hard way and through the school of hard knocks. We've seen all of the cycles. I'm sure Brother Brown and Attorney Thomas and Attorney Westbrook and Mr. Barlow and people like that, they've seen these cycles. But some of you younger people that are just getting out here, you see a couple of bad weeks or bad months, or in the case of the pandemic, a bad year, and you think, man, I did the wrong thing by going into this business. I should go out here and dust off my resume again. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm saying don't be so dismayed because we were in a pandemic. You will see these cycles throughout your business life. It may not be a pandemic. It could be a war. It could be a hurricane. It could be the cicadas. It could be the stock market crashing. If you jump and throw in the towel every time one of these calamities come across your desk or in your life, you don't have what it takes to be a business owner. I'm just going to tell you. You might as well go ahead and get your job, dust off your resume. And if you don't experience it yourself, you can hear from an old head like me. I've seen all the cycles. Yeah. I remember the Great Recession of 2007, 2008, when all the real estate agents were out jumping off ledges. And now you can't, I mean, the real estate market is so hot now, every time a house hit the market, it's gone in 5 minutes. The folks that hung in there, they're doing fine. But you have to find a way. That's what we call that contingency planning. You have to find a way to hang in there. Those real estate agents, man, they were doing short sales. They were teaching classes. They were putting workshops together. They found a way to endure. And you can too. So take these two stories in stride. Yes, the jobless claims are up again. But Google is saying, so about to go for a rebound, and you can too. You can too. So get out there and get on that rebound. Join us. The rebound is coming. So I know some of you folks in industries that have been really just devastated. But I'm gonna tell you a little secret here. Tell you a little secret. When these things happen, like people aren't eating in restaurants, or they're not flying, or they're not traveling, they're not going to the gym. Just imagine what happens when they finally are able to. They're gonna go hog wild. Are you gonna be ready? That's the question. Are you gonna be ready to handle the business? You think people aren't ready to fly? People aren't ready to get back in the gym? They're not ready to get back into the restaurant? You better be staffing up. Start calling your workers and look, now I'm not ready to bring you back yet. I'm just checking to see if you're going to be available when this gate flood opens up. So that's a little something to think about today. A little something to think about. Yeah, things are tough at times. Lord knows I've seen some of it. Man, I've told you all the stories that I've been through. I've been down, man, sometimes I've been down to my last $100. I say, Lord have mercy. Is this what I gave up law school for? Oh, but man, let me tell you, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been an experience. I've done so many things in my life. I was talking to a young lady yesterday. That's why I know I'm in my purpose. And she was a therapist. And like the week before that, I was talking to like the couple who were in the food business. And in both cases, I was able to relate to them and their products and their service, not from a textbook example, from actually doing. That's why I can relate to attorneys so well. I studied pre-law, and I was supposed to go to Syracuse University. I chose to go into business instead. That's why I relate to food people, because I spent most of my life in the food industry. That's why I can relate to therapists. I'm like a certified psychotherapist. I'm not proud of all these things. I've been a CFO. I've been an accountant. So the reason I can justify it and laugh about it and feel that it's okay is because the line of work that I'm in, I can relate on a first-hand, first knowledge basis of so many of the clients that I'm working with, like my good friend Dr. Cooper, who just passed away, and my good friend Bradley Thomas and Jennifer and the Rail family. Yeah, I've done that. I haven't done everything, but touched just about everything. Anyway, folks, let's jump into my topic also about putting social media to work. Now, you're listening to the Marketing Pulpit TV show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Go ahead and share this information. This is valuable information, not just because I'm saying it. I mean, that's a good reason too, because I do know what I'm talking about. I must say that. Man, let me tell you something, folks. It's good feeling. You know your stuff. I talked about the imposter syndrome last week and how some people, particularly people of color, we walk around like this because we're afraid we're going to be exposed and somebody might know we don't know enough for the position we're in. Now that affects practically every race, but it affects people of color more. And that's usually through because of the opportunities we've been denied and the systemic racism and the good old boy network. And you really feel awkward walking into a room in the first place when you're the only person that looks like yourself. And throw that on top of that, second guessing your credentials and wondering why you're there. It exacerbates and elevates this imposter syndrome. So, but boy, when you know your stuff, I don't care. You put me in any room. I don't care if you have Harvard graduates sitting there, Yale graduates. I don't care. I will put my wits against any of them. And that's why I keep telling my listeners, keep getting that education. Take those courses. Get those CEUs. Read on your own. You don't have to go back to school. And I'm always reading. I have certain emails that come into my box every day. I don't have to guess what the latest social media trend is, the latest marketing trend, the latest web trends, the latest brand trends, because I'm being bombarded every day. I have these news feeds. You can do things like Google alerts, put in certain topics, and they'll just send it right to your box. Boom, flip through that. Well, nothing there today. Put it in a folder. And then when you get ready to have to go back and do courses and present to clients, go back to that folder and brush up. Make sure you're relevant. You're on top of your game. Just do that constantly. So you have to have this imposter syndrome, feeling like somebody else knows more about what you do than you do. No, we're not having that. No, 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 no. Not in this house. No, no, no. All right, folks, let me talk about some social media for a minute so you all can. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. Many people right now, they have social media accounts. Some have Facebook. Facebook, they got 3 billion people now. It's hard not to have a Facebook account. But I'd say Facebook is like the catch-all. You're not doing anything else, and you just want to get out there. It's kind of hard to go wrong with Facebook. You have Instagram, which is in the Facebook family. You have Twitter, about 300 million people. They haven't really grown like some of the other platforms. YouTube, which is also in the social media family, but I kind of call it more of a utility social media platform because it's more than just a social media platform. It's also a media platform, it's utility, it's video handling, and so forth. You have some of the latest platforms like TikTok, short reels, 15 second with sort of music and background behind it. So it's evolving. But what you have to do as a business owner, you have to decide which one of these tools are going to help you achieve your objectives. Now, when we go back to the foundational things of marketing, we're always talking about audience. And so that's the first thing I want you to do when you're looking at social media. Ask yourself, who is my audience? You should be asking yourself, who is your audience? Whenever you get lost in any type of marketing discussion or activity, does this affect my audience? For better and sometimes worse. Is this decision, how is it going to impact my audience? Particularly when it comes to marketing, because marketing is all about audience. It's also about fulfilling needs and solving problems. So the first bit of suggestion or advice for social media is to make sure you have the platform or you're on the platform where your audience lives, where they navigate, where they engage. If your audience is on Facebook and you decide where to go, get on Facebook. If you have a younger audience, you're on Instagram. If you're business to business, you're trying to make relationships and things like that, then you want to be on LinkedIn. So, but even that advice is not enough. I'm going to break it down even further. Look at the task that you need to implement in your day-to-day activities as a business owner, particularly when it comes to marketing. What do you need to do? What are your shortcomings? What is your blind side? Treat these social media platforms like employees, like staff. I want you to sit there and marinate on that for a minute. So what you talking about, Gatewood? How am I going to treat a social media platform like a staff? I can't hire them and give them an office and make them do things. Well, I beg to differ. This is what I want you to do. And you will start having a profound impact on your social media as soon as tomorrow. Look at the platform you have. And I want you to look at your marketing list of things to do. If you're not sure, you can go back and look at one of my old shows. We talked about the 10 marketing commandments. But there's certain things, certain foundational things that you need to do in marketing to keep the wheels going, keep the wheels on the wagon. So I'm going to give you some examples here. We're going to treat these platforms like employees. Let's say you call a meeting. Call everybody in the conference room. All right, come on, guys. Let's go about our objectives and the things we have to do to keep this company moving. Come on in here, Facebook. Come on over here, Twitter. Come on over here, buddy. Instagram, get in here. LinkedIn, get off that phone and get over in this meeting. Folks, we have stuff to do. We have goals, aims, metrics to reach. And I need to put you guys to work. I know you guys not just doing your own thing. You're posting pictures of your breakfast at IHOP, sharing your grandkids' pictures and your fraternity. You haven't done any work. You're sitting there sharing, acting the food. Well, that comes to a stop today because we have work to do. Facebook, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go out here and generate me some leads. Facebook, I also want you to drive some traffic to my website. And the last thing I want you to do before I send you back off here to work, I want you to generate some testimonials so that people can see how good we are at what we do. So go out there, generate some leads, drive traffic to my website, and get me some reviews, some testimonies. Now get out here and get to work. Facebook is like, all right, man, I got stuff to do now. I don't just have to sit here and pretend that I'm working anymore. Instagram, what you grinning about? Get over here. This is what I want you to do. We just launched some new products last week that's going to be targeting a younger audience. I want you to go out there and reach that audience. Get out there and find those young people. Also, we just changed our company colors and got this brand new logo, got new awning for the stores. Get out there and get me some visual branding so people can see what we're about. I want you to brand us everywhere. Also, we just got this new product line. I want that all over the place. Instagram, get out here and get to work. Reach that younger audience. Give me some visual branding and let people see these new products we just launched. Get to work. Twitter, I know you're a little older, but drag yourself on over here. Yeah, there's a place for you too. Hey, what, Twitter? We getting a lot of pressure from some of these competitors out here. Some of these little upstart companies. I want you to go out here and monitor them. I need to know what they're doing, what they're up to. Do some hashtags, some special lists. I want to know what that competition, the one that just launched last week, and the others who are coming up, find out what they're up to. There's a lot of news going on out there, a lot of chatter. I feel like I'm missing. I want you to keep me abreast of the industry news. Hear me, Twitter? Also, we got some workshops coming up. We have some workshops coming up, some seminars. I want you to go out here and promote those with all your might. So Twitter, yeah, I know you've got a little age on you. You're not as fast as Facebook and Instagram, but you have a job to do. Get out there and find out what the competition is doing. Give me some news and let people know about these workshops we have coming up. Get to work. Get out of here. And by this time, LinkedIn is over there shivering in the corner. I'm like the Wiz. Get over here like that. Remember that on the Wizard of Oz, that lion came up there with the Wiz was yelling at everybody. He was wobbling and fell down to his knees. Well, LinkedIn, come on here, buddy. I got a job for you too. You're like LinkedIn. Look, I'm not as fancy as the other folks. I'm just an old business platform. I'm not flashy. Don't you want the flashy, the glitz and the glam? Heck no, LinkedIn. Get over here. There's a place for you too. There are folks out here making decisions right now that affect my industry. I need to reach those people. I can't reach them on Instagram. I can't reach them on Facebook. I can't reach them on Twitter. Definitely can't reach them on TikTok. I need you to go find these decision makers and bring them to me. LinkedIn, right now in his notes. Let me tell you something else, LinkedIn, I need for you to do. We have stakeholders. Facebook and LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, they're focusing primarily on customer acquisition. But I know in order for my company to succeed, I need the other stakeholders. I need the vendors. I need the suppliers. I need the contractors. I need employees. I need funders. I need joint venturers. You need to go find those folks and start building those relationships, because only then can we succeed and build that viability that we need as a company. And LinkedIn, last but not least, I want you to go out there and promote me. I want folks to know about my credentials, how serious I am, what my purpose is, and how committed I am to helping them succeed. So LinkedIn, you have a job. Go out there and get those decision makers. Find those stakeholders that are necessary for business survival. And let people know that we are a credible, reputable company that's committed to its purpose and helping our companies, clients, and others succeed. So what I've just done, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions or any doubts about how social media can be used, use this model. Treat them as staff. In other words, put social media to work. Tell social media to get off its lazy behind and get out here and get to work. And you will start seeing results as soon as tomorrow when you take that approach. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Robert Gatewood. My company is Gatewood Marketing and Web. We are a business development company. We specialize in marketing, branding, business development, graphic design, logo design, social media, SEO. We are a full service, full stop advertising agency. Now, we come to this platform every Friday at 10:30 a.m. to bring you the good marketing gospel because we are committed to business development. We want your business to succeed. The big companies have almost unlimited resources. And if you're a small company and you're trying to compete, you are at a disadvantage. But what I have done, I left corporate America and I joined the side of the small companies. So I'm providing you information that they get behind these closed doors. So what I'm going to do, I do this every week. I'm back here next week on the Marketing Pulpit TV show, bringing you the good marketing gospel, and I invite you to join me. In the meantime, you can share this information, and so particularly if you know anybody who's struggling with social media, share this information. Hit the share button. Let people know. Marketing Pulpit is in town. And we'll be back next week. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Curtis, Jennifer, Bradley, Walter, Chuck, many other folks. I can't see your name, but thank you again for tuning in. Kenny, everybody who's been tuning into the show. We'll be back next week. And thank once again, send my condolences to my passing of my client and friend, Mr. Spencer Cooper. If anybody who has lost anyone, as Mr. Jones said earlier, or Chuck, one of you guys said, we do send our condolences to you. It's been a tough year. And we're going to get through this, though. Like I said, there is a brighter day. I don't care how dark the night. I believe in the coming of the morning. And somebody else said it, the darkest hour comes before day. On that note, I'm going to say, as I always tune out, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing. Do it at the right time. You have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.